Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be diving into 3 reasons why you might be struggling to get organized. So whether you are trying to organize your money, your life, your business, your home, you have to have some type of structure or system that you're going to put in place to achieve your goal. And many times we can run into roadblocks that actually stop us from getting organized. So in today's video, I'm going to dive into 3 big reasons why this usually happens and how you could fix it. The first reason you are struggling to get organized is your goal is too broad and it lacks depth. You write down your big goal of getting organized, but you actually haven't broken down the steps of how you're going to achieve that goal. The goal of organizing your life is way entirely too broad. You can start off there, but then I want you to think about every single section of your life that you would like to organize. So for instance, I like to break mine down into 5 parts: my family, my home, my business, my time, and my money. Having these 5 sections of my life, these are the main areas that I am trying to get organized on a consistent basis, helps me to further break it down and think about the individual areas within each one of these 5 sections that I would like to conquer. After I do that process, then I will decide what I want to conquer first. Usually, I will dedicate an entire month to that particular area of my life. So if it's my money, then the entire month of June, I'm going to be thinking about what area of my money I want to organize first, second, third, fourth. So it could be my budget first, and then I want to come up with a saving strategy. Then I want to think of an investing strategy and a debt payoff strategy. And all of these will work together in order to help me to organize my money. After you have divided up all of the areas of your life that you would like to organize and prioritize them, the next step is to figure out how you're going to organize them. What method, paper or digital, are you going to use in order to help you to stay on top of this organization process? So on my channel, I talk all the time about my Tom 90 planner because my Tom 90 planner is my customizable planner that I use in order to organize all of these areas. This planner has 6 different sections, and in each one of these sections, I have a dedicated area of my life that I can flip to and see where I am in my organization process. For each one of these areas, I will think of an overall goal that I would like to complete for the month. I will add it to my monthly overview page, and then on the weekly pages, I am breaking down my monthly goal by the weeks. This way, I can constantly see where I'm making progress and make adjustments as I go. But if your goal is too broad, then many times you will get overwhelmed by the process, and it will be very hard for you to stick with the system and actually organize your life. Side note here, paper does work for me. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone. So to figure out what works best for you, you may need to experiment, try different things, try apps, try Excel, try paper, and see which one works best for you before you commit to actually using it to help you to organize your life. The second reason you are struggling to get organized is that you are not planning thoroughly. So sticking with my previous example of organizing your money, that is your overall goal. If you put as your plan that I'm just going to start spending less and saving more and paying off my debt, that's a great start because it kind of lists out the overall things that you want to get done, but the plan is not thought out enough. In order to plan this out thoroughly, you have to think of the daily, weekly, monthly steps that you need to take in order to spend less, in order to save more. So that could possibly look like creating a budget the day before payday. And when you create that budget, you decide how much you're going to spend on shopping, on entertainment, on eating out, and buying groceries. Once you decide those numbers, that gives you a goal of what you're exactly going to stick to reach your overall goal of spending less and the overarching goal of organizing your money. The same goes for getting out of debt. Yes, your goal can be to get out of debt. However, how are you going to do that? Are you going to use the debt snowball method? Are you going to use the debt avalanche method? paying off the card with the highest interest rate, paying off the one that's going to help out your budget the most. Deciding how you're going to pay it off is your very first step so that you can put within your budget the amount that you need in order to start to pay down that credit card, that debt, and start to get organized in that area. And when you plan thoroughly, you're also going to think about when you're going to check in with that plan to make sure that you are on track, and how you're going to check in to make sure that you're on track. So I usually will do this every single morning with my money routine. I am going to check in and see where I am with my budget, how much money I have spent, and how much money I have left before my next payday. And when I do this every single morning, it helps me to make sure that I'm staying on track, and it also helps me to make adjustments if I am not on track. But deciding when you're going to check in on your plan and the steps that are needed in order to make sure you are staying on track is definitely a part of your planning process. There have been plenty of times where I've set up a plan, set up a budget, but I didn't have an additional timeline of when I'm going to check in and actually make sure that I am sticking to what I have decided I was going to do. So that extra step of checking in and setting aside time on your schedule to check in consistently on your plan is a part of this and will make it to where you are way more consistent. And the third reason why you are struggling to get organized is because you have not worked on your mindset. Usually mindset issues can come from our history, our past. Maybe we have always told ourselves that we can't get organized, that we can't save. And constantly telling ourselves this is causing us to actually live out an unorganized life, or we just have a fear of starting. So since we have this fear of starting, we will just basically decide that we cannot do something. But whether it's fear or a lack of ability, either way, it is causing you to freeze instead of to actually start to take action. And let me tell you, once you get into freeze mode, you automatically feel defeated before you even get started, and it makes this process 10 times harder. So before you start to look at any numbers, before you open up a planner or even buy a planner, you gotta start working on your mindset. So how do we work on our mindset? The very first thing that you have to do is change your language. Every single time you find yourself saying something negative about yourself or this journey, I want you to stop. You have to start paying attention to your words and start to correct those words. In one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits, I talk about this book all the time. If you haven't read it, you definitely should. But James Clear talks about how you have to change your identity in order to become the person that you ultimately want to be. So for years, before I officially even started my organization journey, I would call myself organized because there had been years before that where I just wasn't organized. I didn't feel organized. I felt all over the place. And so I started to internalize those thoughts until one day I said, you know what? I am no longer going to do that, and I am going to constantly call myself organized. I am organized Elena. I can do this. I can keep myself on a schedule. I can organize my family. I can organize my money. I can keep my home together. I started to say these things to myself constantly over and over and over until they became my reality. Now, I am not saying that I am always organized. I am far from it. However, whenever my home is disorganized, I look at that as something that is out of the ordinary. And I always approach it like that is just something that's going to happen every now and then, but that is not the current state of my life. My life is currently organized. And that also helps me to get back into the mindset that I need to get everything back in order. So the first thing that you need to do is change the way that you're talking about yourself and your situation. Secondly, you need to start learning, watching YouTube videos like this one that's going to help you on your journey, that's going to help you to change your mindset, that's going to help you to see that it's not as challenging as you may have thought it out to be. Listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, reading books will all help you to change your mindset into a positive one and start to actually organize your life. Now, this reason is number 3, but it's actually number 1 because this is one of the most important things that you can do on this journey. This journey is a lifelong journey. journey. I don't think I will ever wake up and just feel organized all the time. I think I will constantly be working on my organization, tweaking things, changing things. But the biggest thing about this is that I will never give up. I will never stop trying. I will always continuously be looking for ways to improve my life and be organized. So finding content that helps you to stay encouraged is going to be a big part of staying on track on this journey. And as you're finding your organization content, I hope that you will subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join me back here. So guys, those are the 3 reasons why you are probably struggling to get organized. But if you have additional comments, questions, or reasons why you feel like you are struggling, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. And I will see you all in my next video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.